Over the end line.
Let's go now. 52 on the ending. 52's the mark. Get that quarterback.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Yeah. 15 on it. 15 on it. Man left, man left. 3 down, 3 down. Hey.
Running from the gun, Johnson.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world. Over. Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey, watch the curl. Watch the curls. Hurry.
To throw on 3rd down. Perkins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They begin with a run by Smith. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
1st down, Cleveland.
What's next? 180.
In your face.
Hurry.
A give to Smith out of the gun. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Tremont Smith, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rosen. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Where's 52? Watch 52.
Draw play. Rosen to Johnson. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And now it's Rosen looking. Short throw underneath to Hurst. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when a screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
To throw is Rosen. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
I'm going back to you.
Now Rosen. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Raekwon McMillan. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
Let's go.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Perkins caught by Wilson. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He's checking. Crash.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Watch that end. Tight end's right. Hey, we got 3 down. 51.
To throw on 2nd down, Perkins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Quarter.
Mike 51. Hey, high 7.
Don't let him breathe.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now it's Smith, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
And when you're trying to set up a counter play, it's what a lot of people call an influence play. You're really hoping those defensive linemen are really agile that day. If they stayed out late the night before the game and they're not moving as fast, it's a lousy call because that means they're just going to sit in the hole that you hope to create just by the movement of your offensive line.
And there they got the ball to the outer third of the field, but tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, things get stacked up in there if they don't move as well as you want them to, and probably just trying to escape and couldn't get away.
14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
A gain of 14. And the Browns first down.
50.
180.
Choose the mic. Let's go, baby. Turn up. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball.
A first down carry for Smith. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Tremont Smith with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Johnson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
They stay on the ground on first for Johnson. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing on 2nd down. Rosen. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 48.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Browns drive about to get started. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Mayfield now from the 50. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. This is Johnson. He's got it. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Rosen now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. 51's the mic, boy. 51.
Hey, Echo.
You got it, son.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Rosen to throw. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
5-2's the mic. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. The Browns drive about to get started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
I'm coming out. Hurry.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here's Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 44-yard line. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
At the Browns' 46-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Johnson. And another negative play there as they stop him again. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He's going deep for Brown. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Browns drive about to get started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 12-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd.
41 Mike. 41 Mike. Watch the slip. Watch the slip.
Here's Mayfield. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right?
He's got a man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play that time for the Ravens. 44 yards. The first down carry here for Johnson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And down inside the 15 he goes. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run on first down. It's Johnson. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And they'll throw it with Rosen. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
Crunch time, defense.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Perkins looking for the end zone. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that'll move them back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Browns drive about to get started. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. Well, you don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Tremont Smith, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go to Johnson again. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Mike 51. All right, here we go. Let's go, D, let's go.
On 3rd down, Perkins. And a throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
51 to Mike, boy, 51. Watch the flag, watch the flag, watch the flag. Watch the flag, motion, pull. Check 52. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
They're going on 4th down. Rosen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 40. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
To throw on third down, Perkins. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, then the result can be something you don't like.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Alert, alert, alert.
Now Mayfield. Going right back to Beckham here, complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A run for Nick Chubb.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Mayfield. That's complete to Slayton. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Flushed out right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
The Browns on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They go play action here on 1st down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
51. Come on, D. 51 to Mike.
Now Rosen looking to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Denzel Ward right there in coverage to get the hand in. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now it's Rosen. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Mike 51.
They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. Oh, Rosen is stripped of the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Well, the lead late in the fourth, but Mayfield's going to throw it. Catch made by Slayton. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. They'll run with Chubb. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Second down and goal. Mayfield. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Third and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Working out of the gun. Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided.